Always hospitality hacks that I can't talk about over here. Palazzo Versace is a 5-star ultra luxury hotel which lives the brand of Versace, and Palazzo stands for palace, and Versace is the brand that we know. So it's the palace of Versace. It's the epitome of luxury.
25,000 dirhams per night.
It could go up to that. A separate package that we have, which is called Live Like a Celebrity, where from the time you walk in, you feel like a celebrity. You've got paparazzis clicking pictures, range of that, red carpet that you walk in on, and at every point you are made to feel like a celebrity. When you check out, you go with that feeling. That's a very unique thing that you don't find anywhere else. There is an animal in the room.
Okay.
Well, the animal, the first thing that came to my mind was probably a scorpion or a snake. I ran inside and I saw there was a cockroach. For the first time, they might come for the architecture because we want to see what the grandeur is all about. But the second time when they come, they've already seen the architecture. They come for the people that we hire for attitude and train for skills. The efficiency of your department is determined when you're not around. When mass layoffs happen, in the long run, it fires back. You lose your reputation as an organization. You don't become an employer of choice. Love your work, but not your organization, because you never know when your organization will stop loving you. A ship by the shore might be safe, but it's not doing what it should be doing. It's got huge potential, but it can only do it once it's deep in the sea. Like अवसर हर बार नहीं मिलता.
Right.
If you're lucky, you might get it again.
Right.
But opportunity knocks once, grab it.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम नवनीत है और स्वागत है आपका डी कोड विद नवनीत के एक नए चैप्टर में. आई एम इन दुबई और आज हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए हैं मिस्टर दिनेश चौधरी. दुबई में एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा अल्ट्रा लग्जरी नियो लग्जरी प्रॉपर्टी है. एक 5 स्टार होटल है जो कि 5 स्टार वर्ड वुड बी अ अंडररेटेड वर्ड. उसके सर HR हेड हैं, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डायरेक्टर हैं. तो आज हम सर से बात करेंगे ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के बारे में, दुबई के बारे में और एक अल्ट्रा लग्जरी प्रॉपर्टी के बारे में. हम समझना चाहेंगे कि एक अल्ट्रा लग्जरी प्रॉपर्टी जो होती है उसमें लोग कैसे काम करते हैं, उनके हम जब सर्विस लेते हैं तो उनके दिमाग में क्या चलता है और उनको कैसे मोटिवेट किया जाता है. हेलो सर, वेलकम टू द शो.
Thank you.
You know, when luxury comes, it comes in all shapes, all sizes, and in all forms. So first, I would like to understand. We'll come to your journey and all.
Yeah.
First, I would like to understand what is Palazzo Versace.
So Palazzo Versace is a 5-star ultra luxury hotel, which lives the brand of Versace, and Palazzo stands for palace, and Versace is the brand that we know. So it's the palace of Versace, where it's the epitome of luxury, and guests would come there to rest, have a peace of mind, enjoy the luxury, and that's where we create moments into memories.
So for the viewers who doesn't know or who cannot imagine the level of luxury Versace or Palazzo Versace has, so I'll show the pictures in our podcast video so that they can understand. But I would like to tell them that it's one of the most shot for or most luxurious brand in our world.
Yes, it is.
And you are managing human resource for them.
That's right. I'm heading the human resources as Vice President for Palazzo Hospitality and Director of HR and Talent for Palazzo Versace, which is part of Palazzo Hospitality.
So how different it is from normal brands to this kind of luxury brand?
When you think of a brand like Versace, you would think automatically luxury associated with the hotel. So in short, this is a place where we have high standards, and every team member we have got 550 plus team members. Everyone would strive to make sure that the guests who come over there, they've been taken care of, and we surpass the expectation, not just meet the expectations. And we'll go above and beyond to make sure that happens. So that's mainly what luxury means. This is a place where moments are turned into memories. People come to cherish these moments. And when they go back, for the first time, they might come for the architecture because we want to see what the grandeur is all about.
Right.
But the second time when they come, they've already seen the architecture. They come for the people who have created those memories for them. They remember their names and they want to live those moments once again.
So what is the price range if you are comfortable enough?
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously it varies,
it
but
varies.
on an average.
It varies. It could range from let's say 2,500 dirhams for the lowest category to somewhere around 15,000 dirhams or 20,000 dirhams for the highest category, the Imperial Suite, and so on as well, depending upon the peak times or off peak times and so on.
25,000 dirhams per night.
It could go up to that,
Per night,
including
per
the package, and it depends upon all of that as well. We've got different packages and so on as well. But there's also one very unique one which says "Live like a celebrity,"
Right.
where you check in and you feel, because not everyone's a celebrity in the world,
Right.
And there are people who want to feel like celebrities. So so there is a separate package that we have, which is called "Live Like a Celebrity," where from the time you walk in, you feel like a celebrity. You've got paparazzis clicking pictures, a range of that, a red carpet that you walk in on, and at every point you are made to feel like a celebrity. When you check out, you go with that feeling. That's a very unique thing that you don't find anywhere else.
Wow, that's something worth
Yeah.
trying or worth staying. Okay. So you have started your career in from operations, I guess, right?
In guest
तो
services.
हमारे पेट पे लात मारने की ये आइडिया कहाँ से आया?
ये आपके पेट पे कैसे लात मारी सर?
Because we are HR professionals.
Okay.
So operations itself is a vast thing. So operations के बाद HR में कैसे?
Sir, you know what? There was a time, if you remember, जब हम HR को we used to call it as personal department,
Right.
right? And I don't see anyone calling it as personal anymore.
Right.
People don't even call it as HR now. People call it human capital.
Correct.
Because it has evolved over times. Operations ho ya HR ho, HR is everyone's responsibility.
Right.
So when I was in operations and I moved up the rank, I started my career in Leela Kempinski in Mumbai, in butler services, eventually moved into butler services in Burj Al Arab, and then guest services and so on. That's how we moved into L&D and then HR. But at every point of time, when I felt the meaning, when I would add value to someone's life, and they would come back and say, you know what, this meant a lot to me. That is how I felt that I have this thing. I could make a difference to someone's life with that potential that I had, whatever potential, plus,
Right.
minus. And that's how I routed into the field of HR. An example. So I was in Burj Al Arab and we were working 13 hours then. We were short staff. This is 23 years back. Every day 13 hours for 9 months. People were drained out and you could see it on their faces. And when I was in Mumbai, I had done a course when I was doing my graduation from Shama now, under meditation. And I used to do that every day and I loved it. So when I came here as well, I used to practice it every day. So even during those 13 hours, I would make sure that I do it every day. And it somehow took care of my mental health. One day when I saw everyone, I went to my manager and I said, I would want to run this small thing for 10 minutes for the team. He said, do, no worries. He didn't know. He didn't know anything of what I was going to do. But he said, okay, fine. As long as it's going to do something good.
It's gonna good. Let's do it.
I went back home. I didn't have a tape recorder then, so I borrowed a Sony one from my colleague. I bought a cassette from one of the blank cassette, and I recorded my voice with the background noise of something calm. And I did a 10 minutes of progressive relaxation recorded in my voice. And I went to the briefing the next day in the morning, and I played that for 10 minutes. We were around 23 of us in that room in the briefing, morning briefing. Everyone went into that trance mode. One or two probably might be still there, wondering what's happening, but different nationalities. But everyone went into the trance mode. I remember one or two people even slept. And when they got up after 10 minutes, they were amazed. They felt great. Everyone came back saying, we want to have a copy of this cassette. And then a lot of people from there then started doing it as well. Probably there were 5, 6, 7 people who started doing meditation regularly. But then I realized this is how you make difference to someone's life, by adding value, by passing on the information that you know, and then they might do the same to someone else and so on. That was my entry into, that's how I became a departmental trainer into butler services. That's when the manager realized that, oh, you could do it. So that was my entry. But again, when I changed department and I went into guest services, there were 120 guest service executives. There were already departmental trainers over there.
In Al Burj.
In Burj Al Arab as well. Cutthroat competition, we had 70 plus nationalities in the same department. You can imagine. And in that, if I have to be a departmental trainer, it was very, very difficult. So I went to the manager several times, but there was no opportunity because it was full. I remember as part of the LQA, so LQA is one of the luxury standards. It's called Leading Quality Assurance Standards. We were doing that. And as part of that, the new standard was to have an alarm clock in every suite, every room. And then the departmental people have to be trained on that.
Of course.
So the departmental trainers were told, do a training on this. But then department is like, alarm training, ye main nahi karunga. This is not something I should be doing. Let someone else do it. I saw that as an opportunity. I went to the manager and say, give me a chance, I will do this alarm training. Okay, do it. So I remember evening till night, I sat, I prepared, I took a flip chart board, I made some flip chart diagrams and something. Next day morning, I did a 10 to 15 minutes training on alarm clock. The training was good. I can still say it was good. People came back, the manager came back saying, you explained it so well. And that alarm clock was a bit high tech, right?
Right.
So when you bring in, you have to bring something which is aligned with luxury standards. And that is how I became a departmental trainer in guest services as well. Eventually a training manager in rooms division. Eventually assistant training manager for Burj Al Arab. That is how I kept on doing things which was not part of my job responsibilities. And I kept getting opportunities.
So you have not done any courses in HR or something like that?
I did. But as and when I was...
required?
No, not required as well. As and when I saw my journey moving towards that direction, I did my CIPD in HR. Yeah, this is when I was an assistant training manager in training department as well in Burj Al Arab. I did my diploma in human resources from AMA and so on as well. So yeah, I did my instructional designer course when I was in training department. I did Kirkpatrick certification when I was as well. All of these helped me as part of my career journey, but slowly and gradually.
So what brought you to Dubai? You were good in Mumbai, पढ़ाई किया वहाँ से, family was there.
So I'll tell you, this is again a story. I'll cut it short though. So I was in Leela Kempinski.
Right.
And this was part of the campus interview that I joined there. One day, so the culture in India 25 years back was senior, jo bolega wahi hoga. Yeah, you have to listen to them.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how it is now though. So we had a senior captain in the department, privilege club department, and there was a vacancy that was published in the newspaper for Burj Al Arab. And the senior captain said, okay, I'm going for this interview. And I was there. So बोला, दिनेश तुम आओगे साथ में? तो मैं बोला, सीनियर मैं आके क्या करूँगा वहाँ पे? ऐसे भी मुझे यहाँ पे 9 महीने हुए, it's just 9 months.
Right.
And I don't think I stand a chance to even get this opportunity. He said, नहीं मिलेगा तो नहीं तुम्हें, but करने पे क्या है? It's an experience. तो मैंने कहा, yeah, no worries, I'll come. बोला, I'll be working here. He said, don't worry, that I'll take care of. Fair enough. So next day we went together. I was accompanying him, and a very nice guy. Sandeep, his name is. We went together. It was a full day training interview. I think we had around 4 or 5 rounds of interviews. And in the end, out of the 50-55 people that we had, there were 3 that were selected. I was fortunately one of them.
And your boss?
He
Senior?
didn't get selected.
Bad.
So he came. so when he got to know about, I told him, saying, senior, by the way, वहाँ से call आया था और उन्होंने कहा आप select हो गए. बोले कॉल आ गया तुझे? मुझे तो अब तक आया नहीं. मतलब शायद आएगा सर, 1-2 दिन में आ जाएगा आपको भी, लेकिन just thought I'll let you know and thank you so much because of you I got this. तो बोलता यार नहीं, तेरे नसीब में था, you got it. So जब मेरा होना है तो हो जाएगा. He's doing well in India.
Obviously.
But yeah, that was how I came to Dubai.
Dubai. Okay, let me ask you one thing. When I passed my college, I had a fantasy of working in a hotel, in a good hotel. उस टाइम तो Palazzo Versace नहीं पता था, but in a good hotel I wanted to. तो but हो नहीं पाया. तो मुझे जॉब मिल सकती है? That you are HR head.
सर जॉब तो हर एक उस आदमी को अवसर मिलेगा.
आपके होटल में जो अवसर मिल सकता है.
हर एक उस आदमी को अवसर मिल सकता है जो डिजर्व करता है.
हाँ, तो वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ सर, डिजर्व करता हूँ या नहीं?
इतना जल्दी कैसे बताऊँ मैं आपको?
Okay, last में पूछेंगे.
मैं तो नहीं जानता.
1 घंटा तो
But honestly speaking, whatever I've heard about you, whatever I've seen about you, I think you can do far better in whichever areas. If we've got something related to that as well in Palazzo Versace, I'm sure you do amazing because you are doing amazing. I'm not flattering you, but I've seen some of your podcast.
मैं CV भेजूंगा आपको.
Please, by all means.
Okay, you're still staying connected to India.
Yes.
उसमें वैसा क्या है जहाँ पे आप हैं दुबई में, यूएई में जिस लेवल पे हैं, यू आर स्टिल वेरी मच इमोशनली कनेक्टेड टू इंडिया, सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मैसेज यू वांट टू गिव बाय दैट?
मैंने एक देखा है, ऑफ कोर्स द यूथ इज चेंजिंग नाउ, जेन जीज आ रहे, दे आर कमिंग विद देयर ओन ways of thinking. A lot has changed in India as well in the last 25 years. But a lot of times एक reluctance होता है. How do I ask?
राइट.
I think that shouldn't be there. I think we should be very straightforward. When something has been given to us, we should ask, yeah, great, can you tell me how does this matter? How does it add to the big picture? The assertiveness is important. And I think people don't mind. At least I've seen in Dubai, most of the people don't mind when you ask them, because it only does make things easier and
Right.
better and more productive. That recalibration is important for anyone who's coming from there, if that mindset still exists. And also the recalibration of pace as well. I saw in Mumbai, life was very fast. Here, life is very fast. Expectations are high. And to recalibrate and understand that early is better, because the
Right.
early I understand, the early I progress in my career, in my life, goals and stuff like that. So that would be my advice.
Okay, we were talking before the start that every luxury boutique hotel has some uniqueness. So I'm sure Palazzo Versace also have some uniqueness, some unique experience you want to give it to your customers or guests. So how do you train your 550 employees to give the same unique experience to all your guests?
So
And they are from 70 countries,
Yeah.
all age groups, gender diversity. So how do you manage to give one common message or one common experience which they have to give it to customer or guests?
So, it starts with the right hiring. It's very important. So when we hire our team members, till then they're candidates.
Right.
We would make sure that we hire for attitude and train for skills. I think that is something that should be done anywhere and everywhere. It's not a given, or it's a given in fact. uh, so as long as we know the person's got the right attitude, the right profile, and has got the basic skills needed to perform that job, we can build up on those skills in terms of training. We have got our own learning and development team internally. We have designed programs internally. We have done instructional design to create those programs that are aligned with our standards, that are aligned with the culture, and then that is passed on to the team members. When the team member is hired, we tell them, we don't want you to change or mold yourself. That is not needed. Maintain your individuality. We have hired you because of your individuality. So keep that intact. Don't change yourself. But it has to be aligned with the standards of the hotel. It has to be aligned with the culture of the hotel. And that has to be delivered to the guest. So when a guest is served by one person, he may be served a little differently versus someone else, but the standards are the same. The warmth is the same. The emotional connection is the same. And the idea is that the guest should feel good. I know when I was doing my hotel school, there was a lot of focus around service from the left hand side, service from the right hand side, pre-plated from the right hand side. I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, I remember during my time, my professor told me, Dinesh, you're doing wrong service. यहाँ से होना चाहिए. Pre-plated service, right hand side से होना चाहिए. Oh, okay. I used to be confused with that. For me, you serve a guest from the side he feels comfortable or she feels comfortable. The way they like it, not the way the standards tell you. Yeah, standards are there to guide. By end of the day, it's the guest who has to be made feel like a king. So that is what we tell them. There's no brainer. We tell them कि भाई, do what you think is correct, do what will surpass guest expectation, and for that, if you're not clear on something, check with someone. Simple formula, and it works.
How do you bring perfection to everyone?
So
I'm asking you all these things because you work on various
Yeah.
models,
Yes.
which can be beneficial for all the HR professionals, especially at early stage of their career.
And I was very fortunate to work with EFQ model, business excellence, and so on as well. But you see, perfection, again, perfection is great. But perfection is not needed in every step of service.
Right.
what is needed in a hospitality field is the emotional connection. Yeah, a lot of times, and in the past, I'll tell you, in the past 20 years back, there was a lot of focus was around ticking the boxes. You've got these standards to make sure that all the boxes are ticked and your score is 100%.
Right.
Eventually, over a period of time, they added another thing to it, which was called emotional quotient score.
Right.
And that emotional quotient score. So, if I have ticked all the boxes, and if my emotional quotient score is less, I failed. My guest is not going to come back. He wasn't touched. So, but if the emotional quotient score is high, meaning the guest says, you know what, I will definitely come back, no matter what, because I love this place, I love the people. I think that is what matters the most. And so we tell them standards are important. You have to live the standards, but most important thing is that the guest has to feel emotionally good, happy, surpass expectations when they're leaving, so that they will come back. They will not just come back, but they will go back and talk to 10 people about you, that this is a place you have to go to because people over here are amazing.
Okay, one question out of everything. How can I get best rooms in any hotel?
How can I get best rooms in any hotel?
Yes, I have, for example, I have booked the room for X category.
Yeah.
But I want X plus 1 category without paying anything extra. Or the best possible room with best views in X category. Is there any hack?
So there is see there are always hospitality hacks that I can't talk about over here.
कुछ हमारे लिए बताओ यार.
मैं आपको एक इंसिडेंट बताता हूँ. We had one of the guests who was staying in, I won't name the hotel. I was working there though, one of the hotels, and the guest found. So I was outside, doing my rounds, and then the guest came out saying there's an animal in the room.
Okay.
So मैं बोला animal, the first thing that came to my mind was probably a scorpion or a snake. I ran inside and I saw there was a cockroach. So you know, we have seen it, right? For probably for the guests from that nationality, it was very common. So well, then, no, this is not acceptable. I can't take it. Like, how can you have this here? But hota kya hai, when a guest goes to a beach, it's quite common for such things to happen. It's not that it was a part of the suite or the room. It's sometimes, most of the times, it used to happen that it used to come with the guest, maybe in their bag, towel or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it was found. तो हल्ला बन गया. तो मैंने, as a protocol, I have to inform my director. Then the director informed the general manager, executive housekeeper, general manager. सारे आ गए फ्लोर पे. तो मैंने सोचा क्या बात है यार, कॉकरोच के लिए सब लोग आते हैं यहाँ पे. But it wasn't about the cockroach. It was more about the guest.
Guest.
So they met the guest. So we're extremely sorry. So the cockroach must have come from the beach or somewhere from outside, but we know that it has caused inconvenience to you, and we don't want anyone staying in our hotel to be inconvenienced. So as a gesture, we will upgrade you. तो हमने guest को upgrade किया वहाँ पे, and then he was also given a bottle of champagne. So we knew it was probably not a genuine case. And then later on, I went to the GM, French GM. I won't name as well. You know the hotel as well. Amazing guy. And I asked him, you knew it wasn't true, so why did we even do that? I was very naive at that time, you know, very young blood and all of that. So he said, you know, Dinesh, it's not about champagne or upgrade. It's about the guest. The guest knows. We know. But the guest also knows that we know. And despite we knowing, we have offered them as a gesture. He will go and talk about this to 10 people. In terms of his experience, in terms of the kind of people that are working over here and what kind of service is over here as well. The guy went, he wrote amazing feedback about the hotel, and he was one of the promoters for hotel in NPS course. So there are hacks.
Right.
And most of the times we know what is it. But sometimes we give it a blind eye and saying, you know, it's okay.
So I have a very good experience. Recently, we went to Udaipur. So I can tell the name because it was a good experience. It was Taj Udaipur, and we have given upgrade while checking in. And Then after some time we came down, had some food and all, and then I went back to the room, and it was raining and bottle was pouring inside the room. So they have upgraded us to the best of the category of rooms. So it was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2 upgrades I got in
Okay.
the booking.
See, the simple thing is the moment you are inconvenienced with something, yeah. I'll give an example. When I was in doing the pre-opening of one of the Jumeirah hotels, so the GM there was a German GM, Klaus. He came up with this thing saying, Dinesh, I want to come up with something where when the guest is inconvenienced, we have an instant recovery system. That does not mean it's a bandage on the wound, but an instant recovery system where the guest will feel good and we still in the background resolve the problem.
Resolve the problem.
So I came up with this concept of empowerment vouchers. Yeah, so this is a voucher that every front of the house team member, it's a booklet they will carry with them, and there were only 7 categories of things that they could give out to the guest, which included champagne, dinner, lunch, everything that we have in house that been given. There's not much of a cost, but it adds a lot of value.
Right.
And a lot of times when a guest would complain about something, late check-in, they had to wait for something, any inconvenience, any team member over there will actually tear off the voucher, give it to the guest and say, we're extremely sorry for the inconvenience this has caused to you. We understand. I empathize with you. I would feel the same. Sorry for that. Please avail of this, but this is not, we are getting your problem fixed at the same time as well. And to my surprise, this was so amazing that initially a lot of people were not using it. Again, cultural barrier. A lot of Asians were not using it because it was, how do I use it? Kal mera manager gussa kar dega if I've done it the right way. A lot of mistakes also happened, but they were coached. And people started using it. Guests started loving it. So it was an amazing experience that just this empowerment voucher created over there, And these things are very important as part of service recovery, where the guest feels that experience, want to come back, and it doesn't cost a lot to the company at all.
Right. You focus a lot on situational leadership.
Yeah, that's my style.
Philosophy of different strokes for different folks across a diverse workforce.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Navneet, you'd agree with me that we're all different.
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
So if we're all different, let me take an analogy over here. If there are 2 people who are not well and they have the same ailment, let's say backache, headache, they've gone to a doctor. The doctor may diagnose both of them and the medications could be different.
Right.
Yeah, depending upon what it is. Superficially, it looks like a headache, but it could be something else.
Right.
And that's the same analogy over here as well. Everybody has to be dealt differently because we are different human beings. Another analogy. Imagine there are 3 students, 3 people, different heights. Across a wall, they're watching a football match.
Right.
And one can hardly see the match. The second one can only see the stadium. The third one cannot see anything. So, as per the HR model over not fairness, but equality model you have to use without situational leadership, then I would give them a single elevation and say stand on this. Probably only 2 people will be able to see. The third one still not be able to see it. But if I give them different elevations based on their height, all 3 of them are able to see the match, but the elevations are different. So one could argue saying, you've given one elevated one, the other one is shorter one, but that's not fair. But that's the way you would look at things, And situational leadership is the same thing, the right strokes for the right folks. If I have a new team member joining my department, he or she will need more direction, more support. As against someone who's been in my department for 5 years, high performer, knows the job, I have to give that person complete freedom to do the way they would want to do it. I would just need to guide the person, this is what I need. This is how probably you may want to do it, or I don't even say that. Let the person come up with those ideas because they might surprise me, and just have one-to-ones regularly to check on how things are happening, because that person doesn't need much of direction or much of support as compared to this one. So that's what situation leadership is all about. I save my energy, and I probably motivate and develop someone else at the same time as well.
You have also invented for R&R rewards and recognition some currency system.
Yeah.
What is that?
Let me show you that. Actually,
Okay.
we carry, as part of our culture, we all carry it with us.
Okay, you always carry it with you.
Yeah, we always carry it.
Okay.
So we carry a culture card. So you'll see all of us. This is a culture card. We've got, you'll see ethics, ethos, culture.
Okay.
And this is the currency. Do I have it here? I do. I only have two. I think there is 20 is not here. So there's 5, 10 and 20.
Okay.
So in this, this is an instant recognition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's very important that good behaviors get rewarded instantly. So what happens in this is all the HODs and senior managers would carry this with them, and whenever they see someone doing a great job, they would immediately award to the person this thing. So now after this, they keep the team member will keep on collecting different denominations,
Right.
and they could redeem it for different awards. So let's say if it's 100, they can redeem it for breakfast for 2. If it's 150, they can redeem it for spa massage. If it's 200, they can redeem it for dinner in a fine dining restaurant, and so on. So again, it's not cost to a company. It's not high cost, but
Right.
for them, it's an experience.
Right.
Yeah, that they can have. They can bring someone, their friends, and so on as well, and they want to do more of this thing as well. So the behavior when we reward the right behavior, it is repeated quite
Right.
often, and that person feels motivated. And when the others see that this behavior is rewarded, they want to repeat this behavior as well. So that's how the culture is formed.
So you always focus on hiring people internally.
Yeah.
That's the best way to hire or promote working culture in any organization. But in hospitality, how difficult it is to manage?
I think it's in any organization. It is not difficult unless you're hiring a ATC, air traffic controller. It's a different thing. But in service industry, I think it's the best thing that you hire the. I'm the same example.
Yes.
Yeah, I am what I am today and will be what I will be tomorrow
Right.
as a result of different opportunities I've got in different fields. Like you said, right, from an operations, again in operations itself, I've sent 3 streams. I've changed 3 streams. For there, I moved into L&D. From there, I moved into performance management, succession planning expert, and then I moved into HR. And further, I might move into something else. And I've done business excellence at the same time as well. It's all because I've got opportunities to learn from different people. Yeah, and cross training is the same thing.
Right.
Why, like in India, we have this saying, right? Bagal mein bacha, gali mein dindora.
Right.
Hey, you have talent in house. Why not promote this talent? Give this person an opportunity to learn something, prove himself or herself, and then hire that person in that role. We have done, and we have done that, and we've been very successful in that. Very successful. We've got some managers who have moved in. We've got a lot of people who have moved into roles where they started at grassroots level. They've moved, they've done cross training, they've learned different streams, and they've done better. And if we then don't have that talent in house, then we go outside. Simple. Because then people are motivated to learn more, do more, and give more.
So how do you recruit people in your hotel?
So if you don't have talent in house, and we have to go for recruiting outside, we would publish the rules. Of course, we do our recruitment as much as possible internally, and we publish those roles. We would look at there are certain factors that we look at. We look at a good gender mix to make sure we've got a good male-female ratios and stuff like that. At the same time, a good nationality mix as well. So it's very healthy. We've
Right.
got all nationalities. In HR department itself, I've got all nationality. I mean, all of them are from different nationalities.
Different. Yes.
Yeah. So that is very important. And then when you have got that right mix, it's like a fruit salad. You know, if you want to eat a single fruit, you may not like it. But when you have a bowl of fruit salad, you will love it because it's colorful and you've got different fruits in there. That's what it is.
So you are famous for taking selfies on posting on the internal wall of the organization. What is?
I'm not famous for that. But yes, that's part of our culture.
So the name of the group you have kept sharing is caring.
Yeah. It used to be sharing is caring. Of course, we are going to evolve into that. But we've got an internal page called PVD Diary. So I'll show you on my phone. I've got a picture that I clicked yesterday or day before. There was a team member, his name is Mohammed, he's in stewarding. He went outside and he was collecting a lot of mugs. So, of course, people must have gone outside smoking or whatever for a break, and they left it over there, which is not the right thing. But this gentleman went out collecting those mugs and he was bringing it back in the cafeteria for washing. When I saw that, I asked him, "What is this?" And he said, "This is what I'm doing right now." I clicked his picture. Of course, I'm going to send out a note to the team saying, "Guys, bring your own thing inside." But at the same time, thank him as well that, listen, what you've done is an amazing job. And this is what we do. It's called instant recognition.
So you took his picture, or you
I
took
took
a
his picture.
selfie with him?
No, I took his picture.
Okay.
I didn't take a selfie. I took a picture.
Mhm.
So it's not that we take a selfie with. We take a picture of the team member
Hmm.
while he or she is in action,
Right.
and we post it as to what that person has done, how has it impacted
Right.
the organization. So we see more of those behaviors. Same thing what I told you, right? When you
Right.
recognize a certain behavior, you see more of them, and that's what the idea is. It's simple, no cost, but it has high impact.
One more thing I would like to ask. हम लोग बात करते हैं वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की.
Yeah.
You talk about well-being balance.
Hmm.
What is that? यार and the ये सब का सोचते कहाँ से हो आप?
नहीं सर, ये सब सिंपल चीज़ है. My funda is a bit different. My strategies, when I frame strategies for departments as well, they've been very simple. No rocket science. I know rocket science sells in today's world. दिखाना पड़ता है, लोगों को दिखाना पड़ता है what they are doing, and when they complicate things.
Appraisal के लिए.
You know, मैंने एक देखा है, when people complicate things and sell it, it seems like, oh wow. But you know, the beauty, if you want to really have results, is simplify things. Because मैंने ये भी देखा है, एक कॉम्प्लिकेटेड अप्रेजल फॉर्मेट जब आप लोगों को एक्सप्लेन करते हो, HOD, सीनियर मैनेजमेंट, किसी को नहीं वो फिल करना होता है. They don't want to be part of it. But when you simplify the process and tell them this is all that you have to do and automate, everything will be
Right.
automatic, and now with AI things are amazing, people want to be part of it.
Right.
So, well-being balance, talking about. We are into hospitality. हमारा operation 24/7 होता है.
Right.
Yeah. You have to work long hours at times. And it's fatigue, like I told you, there was 23 years back, we were working 13 hours. It's not close to that anymore. But when you have situations like these, people need to have ways to have some kind of a de-stressor. And well-being balance is all about having training people on this meditation thing that I've talked to you about, yoga, and then especially few, if you're an office person, few things that you could do while you're sitting at your seat, office yoga.
Right.
Things like Brahmari, it's such impactful thing, and you don't need to take a lot of time for that as well. So this is what we tell people, that हमारे accommodation में we have a swimming pool, we have equipped gym, so we would promote people to be doing that. Best example I'll tell you, so Dubai is known for this. Every September, October, we've got something called as Dubai Fitness Challenge. It's called the 30-30 Challenge.
Mhm.
It's advocated by Sheikh Hamdan, Crown Prince of Dubai. It's an amazing initiative. I've not seen that anywhere else. What happens in that is all organizations are encouraged to participate, and as much as possible. And every day, every person who's part of that organization, so let's say you've got 100, 200, whatever that would be, everybody has to do something for 30 minutes. Walk, run, play, game, whatever it would be, but it should be 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Sync with your watch, Apple Watch, whatever it would be, or maybe just your mobile phone. You have an app, and it gets automated over there, automatically calculated, and you see your score. During 2021 and 20 onwards, so 2021 we participated. We were almost 65, 70 people that participated. And there were a lot of other hotels that participated as well. 530 plus organizations that participated, and we were number 13 in terms of where we stood out of the 530 plus organizations. Among hotels, we were number 1. The next year, out of 550 or something that participated in 2022, we were number 1.
Wow.
And we didn't spend a single penny on anything. It was just about reminding people and holding them accountable. So the next day, who would not finish 30, the names would be published saying, listen, buddy, you were not there yesterday. and I don't want to be a part of this. So I will make sure. I remember I used to wear a Fitbit then. So I will make sure, even if it's 11 o'clock, before the clock hits 12, I will make sure I have done my 30 minutes or whatever time that would be. So I'm done, and I'm not going to be part of the ones who are putting people down. So that was a competition, and that is what helped. There would be someone, the L&D manager was in charge for this, who would remind the person, would send out note at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, saying, guys, who's pending, da da da. But you see, what gets measured gets done. And that's what happened. And we were number one the second year. And that's what we are continuing the journey throughout as well. That's well-being.
Right.
So you may not be doing, work-life balance doesn't exist to extent, but well-being balance is the best thing you could do. That's my concept around it.
So, operating 24 bar 7. An individual cannot be operational 24
Yes.
bar 7. So,
Yeah.
you can be there maximum by 8 hours, 9 hours, or 12 hours. So, how do you make sure that when you are not there or anyone from management is not there, your team is running the show similarly whenever you are there?
Yeah. See, I think from where I have come, people I've worked with, I've been very fortunate that I've seen, and the message has been common, that your department and your efficiency or the efficiency of your department is determined when you're not around.
Right.
And that is the truth. So the whole analogy, the whole work philosophy works around training your number two. And that number two has to train the number three, and so on as well. That's a succession pipeline that you create in an organization, right? So that the show still runs very smooth, even when you're not around. And that is the whole legacy you leave behind. I was very fortunate that the people, my managers, my bosses that I worked with, found me capable of doing that. They have trained me on that as well, and I make sure that I would do the same for my team. Yeah, and the culture continues. It's the see do get, because tomorrow if my team, when they will move up the rank as well, they will make sure that happens down the line to their team and so on. So the legacy keeps on running on. So it's all about making sure that you created that succession pipeline. You have trained your number twos to take care of it. So when you're not around, things are smooth.
So, during COVID-19, you were in this hotel only?
I was actually in August 2020. The core of COVID is when I moved over here.
Okay, so you sat with the finance team and you made sure that the employees are being taken care of. How was the boardroom negotiation went off?
Uh, it was. We can study another 1 hour and we can talk about the whole thing. But let me sum it up. So that was a time, very tough time for all the industries.
course.
But the first one that was hit was hospitality.
Right.
What happened was a lot of hotels were making their teams redundant. Straightforward. A lot of people lost their jobs. That was a thought that came first as well. I wasn't there till that point as well, and I think there would have been hundreds of people that would have lost their jobs. But fortunately, that is not what happened. So I have seen in the past as well in different organizations that when mass layoffs happen, in the long run, it fires back. It backfires. You lose your reputation as an organization. You don't become an employer of choice. People, the best talent would not want to come and join you, but that is not measurable.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not measurable. And even if you go and talk to the commercial people about it, you can't put a number to it.
Right.
It's very unfortunate. Then the learning hours, you can't put a number to it. A person when joins an organization takes at least 6 months till the time he or she starts performing. Yeah, and now if the person is gone, and then later on, whenever you would hire a new person, that 6 months is gone. Who's calculating that? Those numbers are not put in place. So it was very good. Finance was aligned. I put down this proposal together with finance as well. We came together with this plan. We had fantastic owners as well. It's very, very people focused, and it didn't take as much as I thought it would. It was very straightforward. They understood it, and I still remember that day when there was one person who was made redundant, and I remember that person literally crying, got on the floor, and said, "I don't want to go." I was not part of the discussion, but it was very sad. It was very sad. I don't forget that day. And I think he had a lot of commitments back home. And I don't think anyone should go through that. As much as possible, I think it's our responsibility as HR to see figures are very important, absolutely important. By end of the day, you, it's all about people, right? So try and see as much as possible what you could do from your side, and then you leave rest to God's hand.
Obviously.
So yeah, I was very fortunate that we didn't have to fire anyone. We went on 25% salaries, only 25%, but everyone had jobs. I expected few people might resign. No one resigned. People stayed. There were no jobs anyways outside.
Of course.
And it was just a matter of 3 months. Dubai did an amazing job. The
Right.
authorities were amazing. I think we bounced back very soon. In 3 months' time, we were doing good business, much better. So the salaries were up by 50%, 250%, then 75%. December 2020, we were 100% salaries. So that's how things worked. And now as well, current geopolitical situation is the same. We have not had a single person been made redundant in our hotel, though a lot of things are happening around. But the team is intact.
Okay. So, what is the difference you find in between the hospitality in India and in Dubai?
I don't find much of a difference. You know, when I was in Leela, our mission in Leela, I remember the mission statement in Leela is very simple. It was called Atiti Devo Bhava. Yeah, that was the statement. That was the mission statement. So guest is God. And when I came to Dubai, one of our core principles in the organizations I was working in was that you don't say no to a guest. Your response to a guest will never be no, which is aligned, almost the same.
Right.
Of course, over a period of time, we saw that the guest also knows about our tagline, and then people started taking advantage of that.
Right.
Then we rephrased it to the first response to a guest request will never be no. But end of the day, guest is always treated as a guest who comes to a place. The Arabian hospitality is very similar to the Indian hospitality. A guest who comes home is always treated like a god. Here is the same as well. The guest who comes home is treated, and that's very much an Arabian hospitality. So it's, I think, very aligned. That's the best part about India, Asia, Middle East, Southeast Asia. Europe is a different thing.
So, what would be your message to young 20 years guy or a girl who wants to make a career in hospitality?
Get out of your comfort zone. I think it's very easy for us to get into a comfort zone and then continue. But the moment we feel we are comfortable, I think that's when we have to get out of the comfort zone. Because I strongly believe a ship by the shore might be safe, but it's not doing what it should be doing. It's got huge potential, but it can only do it once it's deep in the sea. And that's what people have to do. They have to get out there, grab opportunities as well. You know, sometimes like अवसर हर बार नहीं मिलता.
Right.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you might get it again.
Right.
But opportunity knocks once, grab it. Tomorrow you don't know if you'll get the same opportunity or not. So that's what I will tell them.
What will you opt for, formal degree or learnable candidate?
Both. So a formal degree is important. A lot of times when you have to pursue further qualifications, you will need a formal degree.
Right.
That's one of the requirements.
Right.
But also from a learning perspective, I think a formal education gives you perspective, gives you analysis, gives you research. You have a background when someone talks about those things. You understand those. That's very important for you to create your base, but that's not everything. Now on top of that, you have to build on that foundation, which is a formal degree. You have to build up your skills, which is on-the-job training, learning things.
Right.
And for me, I'm a big advocate of learning and on the job at the same time as well. Because if I'm learning and I'm working at the same time in a aligned field, I'm able to put my learning into practice where my understanding of that concept or that theory becomes deep-rooted. And I understand the why behind the what. Theory alone is not going to do any difference.
Right.
And the other way around as well. When I'm working somewhere and I see there's an analogy or there's a theory, I understand a deep-rooted understanding of that academics out there as well. So they're very intertwined. Together, would do amazing.
Sure. So we'll have rapid fire round where you have to answer rapidly.
Okay.
What is one word your team would be describe you on Monday morning?
Steady and sturdy. So yeah, I would be the
No
same.
change.
I would be the same on a Friday evening and a Monday morning. That's very important for the team.
Right.
So the energy levels are not very high, very low. They are steady. And sturdy is very important as well. So they
Of
know
course.
somebody's behind.
What is one Versace design element in the hotel you secretly love the most?
It's not a secret. Um, but honestly, once you enter the lobby,
Mhm.
in the lobby you will see a Medusa, the Versace Medusa.
Mhm.
I love that design. The Medusa, this one.
Got it.
I love that design.
Okay. Do you prefer a coffee meeting or a walking meeting to talk a colleague?
Both.
Both.
Both. Yesterday I did a walking meeting with someone. When something is very quick, then it's walking meeting. If I have to go and meet the team members, it's walking meeting. But something needs in-depth talk, understanding, coaching, mentoring, then it's a coffee meeting.
Do you prefer your team to reach you with the problem via text or call or in-person chat?
Whatever they prefer, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. You're
And when
always
I have to reach them, I'll reach them with whatever mode I think is correct. What works, the right strokes, that will work for the right
Right.
folks.
What is one thing you always notice in a candidate within the first 2 minutes of an interview?
The vibes that I get from those candidates, the demeanor, the smile.
So, what is a habit of Gen Z employees that you secretly find impressive?
I think I mentioned this as well. I like the fact that they would ask you questions.
Right.
They would ask you questions, they would ask you the big picture and how does it matter. And I like that. A lot of people, some of the people don't like it, but I think it adds value and you get much more productive and efficient work done.
If you could give your younger self in the corporate world one line of advice, what would you say?
I would say the same thing what I've said. You know, get out of your comfort zone. Be an opportunist. You know, grab the avsar, the opportunity that you get, because you never know if the second opportunity would come knocking.
Correct. What is the most brutal yet entirely necessary piece of HR advice you have ever received from a mentor?
I've received this advice from two of my mentors. I so they've always said, and I think this is something you have heard as well. It stayed with me. Love your work, but not your organization, because you never know when your organization will stop loving you. So it stayed with me. It's a different thing whether I agree or not, but it stayed with me.
Okay. So, in your expert opinion, what is the single most underrated soft skill in human resources today?
Listening skills, very, very, very important. I don't think people are trained on how to listen. There is no training on that, unfortunately. But it's very important that people listen, and that's what they want from HR. They want someone to listen. You may not have an answer to things, which is fine, but they want someone to listen.
Right.
And then empathize with them.
Of course.
Solution will come from the same person.
After more than 2 decades in the region, what remains the absolute best part of your living and working in Dubai?
You know, I love one thing about Dubai is everything is an opportunity. With the recent, I'll give the current case, right? The geopolitical tension.
Right.
And it was so sad to see some of the medias around the world saying different things of what happened in Dubai and so on. But you see the way Dubai is so resilient, and the way it is managing things. COVID was the best example.
Right.
Yeah. And even currently, the way it's been managed, people standing together, organizations coming together. I think that's the beauty of UAE. You know, united we stand. And if I have to sum it up in one word, like the moment the word impossible comes to Dubai, it becomes I am possible. That is Dubai.
So, final and the most important question. So now, am I selected for the hotel job? If yes, which position?
You are in.
I mean, so which position and how much salary? That we can discuss. Salary we can discuss off the camera.
Exactly.
But position you can tell me now.
I think we should be hiring a director of podcast.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for
Thank you,
having a
Navneet.
wonderful discussion, and I'm sure people will love it. Audience will love it.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I look forward, and thank you so much for
Thank
inviting
you.
me.
Thank you
It was a
very
pleasure.
Thank you. So thank you very much for watching the episode. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.